corridor or as an industrial cluster. So there has to be a certain amount of compliance. How green is your industrial park? So we have to sensitize, and of course there again there exists entrepreneurship opportunities as compliance inspections agencies and so on. Who's under pressure to transform here? We are addressing them, those who are being forced to decarbonize, or who are being coaxed. I won't say forced is not the right word. Who are being nudged or coaxed into decarbonizing their supply chains, dependent on unstable grid electricity, especially those positioned along strategic industrial corridors. So what's the solution? Distributed hydrogen production hubs along industrial corridors, fuel cell integration for industry, energy, and mobility. That means when you are your fuel cell technology that is used in automotives or in industrial processes, that technology needs to be integrated with green energy use. And so there will need to be substitution processes. New fuel cell technologies will need to be put into industrial processes of manufacture, as well as in mobility, especially heavy trucks and so on. So it's energy plus transport plus industry integration. So that is the solution. And what does it provide? It, of course, provides an energy resilience. It reduces our dependence on fossil fuels. It provides benefits of local beneficiation, especially in the use of fuel cells. And it reduces the emission levels as defined as Scope 1 and 2 emission levels for firms that have to comply to certain industry standards of emissions. It reduces dependence on electricity, diesel-based logistics, and isolated renewable IPPs without industrial integration. What this means is that the last point, if you have renewable energy production, which is being undertaken, and if you do not integrate that renewable energy production into industrial value chains, what are we going to do with all that industrial energy, with renewable energy? So it has to have an outlet, and therefore it has to be a renewable energy production. Whichever renewable energy you want to take needs to be integrated with industrial processes. And that is what this project is about. Remember now, as South Africa, we are dealing with transition on so many fronts. In fact, a lot of countries are dealing with this kind of transition. We're dealing with, for example, if you are already an industrial producer or an industrial entrepreneur, you have to deal with compliance on so many fronts. As first of all, as an entrepreneur, with the compliance that's required as an entrepreneur. Then compliance that's required as for BEE transformation. Then compliance now that's required on energy. Compliance that's required, therefore, on labor standards. Compliance that could be required on air quality, that as an industrial producer that you are responsible for. That's your Scope 1 and 2 emissions. So essentially, this is one new area that is being opened up for entrepreneurs for not just entrepreneurs, for industry to be aware of their compliance requirements, as they are also dealing with corporate social responsibility, with the necessity for ensuring youth employment. They have to ensure that there's skills levies, for example, another compliance factor. So this is one more standard of compliance that is going to be set on industries, industrial processes, to ensure that they are energy compliant as well. And not just energy compliant, green energy compliance. The third concept is mobility transition model. Green, that is what I spoke about, that is integrating exports, industry, and transport. So you have the green ammonia export concept, you have the industrial cluster concept, which is a hydrogen valley, and then you have the mobility transition. That means slowly migrating your transporters, long haul transporters especially, from petrol and diesel or fossil based fuels to greener fuels. So, what's the problem we want to solve again? High dependence on diesel in freight, rail, and port logistics, rising fuel costs, and lack of scalable clean fuel alternatives. It's like this: if you have the technology, if you have the research, then why are we not making use of it? Freight and logistic companies, port and rail operators, mining, haulage, and bulk commodity, we are solving the problem for these stakeholders who are operating in long distance with carrying high loads, unable to electrify easily due to battery limitations. So, green hydrogen is an easier input fuel than electricity because of the charging requirements, facing ESG compliance pressures, which I just spoke about. And our solution is therefore on this concept: hydrogen refueling corridors along major logistic routes, hydrogen powered trucks, integrated hydrogen production near ports and logistics hubs. For example, you have Cato Ridge, where you have a lot of logistical transporters hubbed there for their requirements. So we could have a green energy fuel supply center there, so that the fueling is easier and along the route and so on. What are we solution are we that provides a high energy density solution, faster refueling versus battery charging, and reduce life cycle emissions in logistical chains. This is unlike volatility. What the solution moves away from, in the sense, what does it not bring with it? The baggage, which is high emissions, price volatility, battery trucks, where battery and electric trucks, where you have a higher weight constraints, waiting periods also, because you have to charge vehicles through the night, and of course the gas-based fuels. So these are things that, this is the broad understanding of the mobility concept that we are looking at, and which use of green hydrogen in mobility, which is unlike the use of diesel, battery, or LNG, which are fuels. Remember, the broader your energy mix, the more resilient is your industrial value chain. Before I go into this opportunity for South Africa, there's one more slide here. Concept portfolio across GH2. So you have upstream inputs, core technology. So your broad concepts. Remember, there's a different perspectives with which we can look at this sector. So you have upstream. So we've looked at three concepts, broad concepts. Then we're looking at concepts in the upstream inputs. We're looking at core technology. We're looking at infrastructure. These are the different areas where your concepts can be developed: mobility applications, industrial applications, energy systems, and enablers, which are that, as I talked, your inspection agencies, your compliance agencies, your certification agencies, and so on. That's also a entrepreneurship area of entrepreneurship which will come up. Teaching, training, and so on. And now there's a very detailed list that we have put up to look at concept development, which are the areas in which we need micro enterprises or new enterprises, or even established enterprises to have alternative processes being developed. So there are a list of 20 concepts, which explains for each concept, the table explains which problem is being solved, for whom, who are going to be solving it, what's the solution, and what does the solution provide, and what does it not provide, or what does it exclude. In this way, we are what this does is it gives you food to think about. It gives you areas where you can position your business. It gives you skills that you could go into develop for yourself, where you want to place yourselves. It also shows you which area you want to research further, and where you want to develop networks, which are the areas where you can develop networks, and so on. Before I hand over to Mr. Atul, can I just check with Nashril, is there any chat questions, queries? Is there anything that our class would like to ask me before I hand over? All fine? Okay, I'll just... one second.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's a change of guard for the moment. My name is Atul Padalkar. It's great to have everybody back here on this class. I'm going to build further on what Dikshita has done and take you through a little bit more of details on the green hydrogen concepts. So Dikshita has given you examples of a few concepts and how they work. But what we now need to start looking at is how do all these different concepts fit together in the overall green hydrogen ecosystem. So in South Africa, the green hydrogen ecosystem is fairly new. That means a lot of what needs to be in place is not yet in place. And now, who are the people who are going to put it in place? That's people like us. And that's why we have this program, which is why we are preparing young entrepreneurs to become the future industrialists in South Africa. This basically means developing new concepts, new business concepts, and seeing how these business concepts can actually roll out. So what I would like to do now is take us through a couple of things. The first thing is, before maybe I start, I just wanted to check if Speciously is on the call and if she's ready, because one of the things that we are going to do is do a very quick recap in terms of feedback from what the previous feedback has been. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to ask Speciously to be ready. The floor is yours. Speciously, you will need to share your screen with your presentation so that we can get a quick view of what has been the feedback that has come through so far from all the questionnaires that you have completed so far. So Spe, I can see you're ready. Floor is yours. Please go ahead. And please unmute yourself if that's possible. You're back on mute. Please unmute and stay unmuted.
We're having a very problem. Space send the slides to you. Can you please?
Okay, so there's a little bit of a technicality. She sent me the presentation. I need to open it. What I will do instead is I will bring her at the end, and that will give us a little bit of time to get some of the technicalities aspects. So she'll come towards the end instead of now, and that will give me a bit of opportunity to download the presentation and all of those things. Great. So maybe let me go back to sharing the original presentation that Dikshita had up. Michelle, help me understand if it's up again. Are you able to see my presentation, or just let me know, because it does take a minute or so sometimes to come up. Okay, it's up. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. So let me continue from where we had left, and just give me a second. Nishil, are you able to? Are you able to share the slides with you from your side, and then I'll play them out? We are going to resonate if you come in this room. We are going to resonate. Sorry about that. I will just a moment. Nishil, you've got the presentation? Please let me know if you're able to see it. The 20 concepts, is that up? Yeah, perfect. Okay, great. Thank you for that. No, it's fine. Is it being seen by the participants? Yeah, I can see. Okay, fantastic. Thanks very much, Nishi. So, colleagues, what we have done for you is made your life actually quite easy. And what this constitutes is, as you will see on the screen, we've basically taken into account some of the concepts on green hydrogen and actually broken it down across possibilities in terms of how you could position your future green hydrogen business. So we've listed a lot of different concepts all along the value chain, which you will see in the first column. So there are about 20 concepts which are lined out. The next column is the problem that we want to solve. So we've specified a few problems. As you can see, these are problems which are focused on industries, in agriculture, in mining, in steel production, in capital related aspects, in skills pipeline, and so forth. So these are the different problems that a business can be structured to solve. There's also a certain target market that we have in place, which could be logistics operators, agriculture sector, mining companies, youth employment, and all the different challenges that we face. So as a country, we can use green hydrogen to address some of the problems which are not limited only to energy, but also to employment, export competitiveness, industrial production, and so forth. So that can be used in terms of targeting a certain market segment, and we are able to therefore produce, using the space of green hydrogen, specific solutions. So these are the solutions which you will see in the column number 5. These are the specific solutions, and then you have the benefits which these solutions bring, which is either clean energy, reliable energy, freight which is lower cost, carbon which can be produced with low carbon steel, job readiness for young people, market readiness in terms of concepts, or carbon tracking. And remember, carbon is actually a commodity which can be sold on the international market in terms of credits. So carbon credits is an emerging market. Just like you can buy and sell stocks, you can buy and sell carbon credits as well. We are not going into the technicality of how it works, but I'm just flagging it off that a lot of people also do trading, and carbon credit trading is certainly one of the areas that's worth looking. Now, how are these solutions different is something that we are able to see in the last slide. So this is unlike the current solutions or current solutions which are being used. So essentially what you could actually do is merge and match all these different columns and create your own kind of concept. So it is 20 times 7 columns, and that can give you a whole range of different concepts across the green hydrogen value chain, and that can be a large number of possibilities. But of course, we don't want to go into all those kinds of possibilities. We would rather focus ourselves on some very specific businesses, and therefore what we will do is leave this for you to now think through. Fortunately, as we all know, this is a very short week, and so is the next week quite short because we've got the Easter weekend. And as Dikshita said, this is an opportunity for you to think through and develop your thinking along those lines. So see these concepts in the context of the green hydrogen value chain, and that will help us to see how you want to now start developing your concept for a possible green hydrogen business. And slowly, as we develop the concept, we will start seeing how this whole thing can actually come together. And at this stage, we are only dealing at a concept stage. And once your business concept is well firmed up, we can actually start taking steps to create this concept into reality. So that's going to be the next some of the steps. So where this takes us, and I'm starting to come to some aspects of homework which we have already done and some which are going to be done. First is, I think many of you have already completed the gap analysis in terms of the questionnaire for participants. It's been a very insightful feedback coming from you. And what is going to happen is we're going to share some of these survey findings. The next thing we are requested for is everyone to open your Growth Wheel account. And I'm going to today take you through what Growth Wheel is and how you can use Growth Wheel to actually complete your concept for green hydrogen. And that's basically at this stage only as a concept state. You will do that by looking at these 20 different concepts. You will also use that little statement which you can complete to make the green hydrogen concept possible. And then there's a little quiz which has been put together. You've seen the email from last week, and that has a link to complete the Green Hydrogen 101 quiz, which is on the Cheetah website. So there's plenty of work to be done. Not too much, fortunately, not far too much, but just enough to get the thinking juices ready. And that will start giving us all together a better understanding of green hydrogen as an opportunity. And this is an opportunity which is not too well known. So we'll have to work on really understanding what it consists of and how it will be of benefit to all of us. Great. So far, so good. I'm just checking by any chat or question. So feel free to unmute and jump in if you'd like. So I'm just taking a short pause for a few seconds to see if we are all okay or not. If you're on chat, just say all okay, then I know we are going fine. In an indirect way, just to check if everybody is still awake.
Hi. I just wanted to check about the first point in terms of complete the questionnaires for the participant. Did we do it or is still coming?
No, you can still do it. It's still open. We've not closed the survey. We've got a few participants who have not done it. So if you haven't done it, we'll give you the chance to complete it, but we'll still share with you today what the people who have completed are also saying. So it doesn't stop you from any way to not complete. So go ahead. I know we put a deadline on that 19th of March. It's past. No problem. You can still do it. It's open.
Is it the first survey we did? Or maybe it's a new survey?
No, it's the same old survey, which if you've done it before 19th of March, then that's still the same survey. Today, all we are doing is presenting the findings.
Oh, okay. I was a bit confused with that. Thank you so much.
No worries. Happy. Great. We've got Standive, Biela. Thank you. I'm okay. Thanks for the 20 list. Okay, fantastic. Standive, great. Anyone else? This is a good opportunity to interact as well. All right, fine. So let me, in that case, colleagues, progress further to introducing to you a very wonderful tool. It's called Growth Wheel. I'm one of the Growth Wheel accredited. So Andile, answer to you is very simple. The quiz is still open. So you're welcome to answer it, Andile. Okay, great. So let me jump on to introducing to you Growth Wheel. Growth Wheel, as you've seen, and you're still welcome to use the link at the bottom to create your own free Growth Wheel lifetime account. What Growth Wheel does is it basically looks at 20 different aspects of business. I'm going to suggest that using Growth Wheel, and more specifically the canvas of Growth Wheel, is a great way to start putting your concept together. And this will help you to prepare yourself, not just the concept, but also start getting ready to be able to pitch the concept for green hydrogen. So this is called the Founders Canvas. It's a 360 degrees view of how the various aspects and the relationships between those aspects work together. Many of you may be familiar with the business model canvas, and I'm probably going to ask you by a show of hands, how many of you are familiar with the concept of the business model canvas? And you can just say yes if you're familiar, no if you're not familiar with the business model canvas. And yeah, this is a great time to again jump into the chat How many of you are familiar with the business model canvas? I'm not going to, this is not really an exam or anything, but it's just to check how many of you are familiar with the business model canvas or the lean canvas, which is a version of the same. Not familiar. So thank you very much. OM, Jabu, Namonde. Okay, fine. So we'll probably jump back into familiar Tandive. That's great. So yes, I think though business model canvas is a relatively new concept, some people may not be familiar. So what we will note from your feedback is bring you back into developing the business model canvas. So the founder canvas is basically a growth wheel tool in terms of finding how you could actually put together the different moving parts of a business and how they all start making sense. So I'm going to start off together by taking you through what the founder canvas looks like. And it's a tool that if you invest in terms of time, just even on a once-off basis, you will be able to use this tool to run almost any business. And that's one good part about this program, which is you can use the skills that you have learned here to develop any business that you would like to build as a founder. And remember, a founder doesn't just build only one business. Once you become a founder, you become almost like, I would say, like a serial founder. It's very easy once you've done it right first time to set up any business many times over. So what you see on the screen is basically the 360 degrees founders canvas. And what this founders canvas does is it puts different aspects of your business based on growth wheel. I'll come into the details of each of these aspirations, relationships, capabilities, and resources as we go along. And let me take you through the details of that one by one. There's also a readiness assessment for the founders, which is part of this canvas. So it takes into account how ready are you in terms of the various aspects of your business. And then on the right-hand side, it puts together the ambitions and the 30, 60, 90-day action plan. So these put together actually combine to develop your complete founders canvas. The founder readiness assessment, ambition, goals, and 30, 60, 90-day action plan. Let me start off by starting with the first part, which is the aspirations. Where do you want to be in your business related to green hydrogen? And for example, if your mission or what is your purpose is something that you can fill up here, we will share these templates with you, which are already which will be on their way tomorrow or so. So the first thing you fill up is what is your mission or what is your purpose. Then is your vision in terms of where do you see the future unpacking itself, and then what are your value in terms of your business and business values. So these are the main aspects in terms of your founder canvas. Let's look further into the relationships, which is basically related to the network and to the partners. So network is basically who in your network can help, and partners is what partners could you have. And I think this will be a very good opportunity for us because we are all 20 founders in different at different levels, and how we could partner is something which is going to be interesting. So who would be our first customer will be also determined on the basis of the concepts that we develop, and based on whom we are targeting will determine who our ideal customer would be. Then we look at what are the possible resources. So what does the current environment offer in terms of knowledge, expertise, connections, and even capital? So you look at how much capital do you have, how much capital you probably need. And at this stage, we are only doing this as a concept. So this is almost like a simplified version of doing a business plan, but the starting point of what might need to eventually become as a business plan. Then how much time do you have or availability in terms of being able to start? So these are the initial aspects of the resources that you have on hand. Remember that when you start a business, you will never have all the resources that you need on your hand. An entrepreneur is a person who always knows how to make the best of whatever little resources are available. There's quite a few studies, and that's basically one of the things that distinguish entrepreneurs from non-entrepreneurs. They will make the best of everything that they can lay their hands on. They will not stop for the perfect day. And even if the day is cloudy or rainy, they will get started about doing their business. So this is about resources. Resources are not only a limitation, an entrepreneur knows how to access resources which may not be easily available. So that's basically one thing which I would say sets an entrepreneur apart from everyone else. And finally, the fourth aspect of the founder canvas, which is the capabilities, which is what skills do you have? And obviously, what skills would you need to still learn in terms of getting on with your green hydrogen business? So education sometimes is a big advantage. And I know that some of you have a chemistry background, some of you may have a business background. Even if you do not have a chemistry or business background, both of these are very learnable kind of expertise areas. And that's the reason why we are here together as a class of 20 plus minus people. Not everybody always attends, but I know that most of them always go back to the recordings and see the recordings after the sessions. So that's basically how your capability in terms of skills and education come together. Finally, we look at experience. And I understand that all of us may not have the experience that might be necessary. And that's the reason why we are working on building people who have experience, who have knowledge in the space of green hydrogen so that they can come on board as experts. So this is a very quick high level view of what the 360 degrees founder canvas looks like. And putting this canvas together, you don't have to be perfect. You can look at the different concepts and you can start packing your concept in this 360 degrees founder canvas. And once you're able to put the 360 degrees founder canvas, you will start getting better and clearer vision about your business. And here's another secret. If you are using artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Claude, or any similar LLM, you can certainly put together all of these founder questions and run them past ChatGPT, because you might actually get some better direction and guidance and critique from ChatGPT on how to actually shape your business in a better way. So that's basically a very high level overview, and Growth Wheel can be a very exhaustive tool to use. But currently what we are focusing on is just using the one single functionality of the Growth Wheel, which is the founder canvas. So that's basically what we've kind of introduced ourselves together. I'm going to stop sharing and probably going to open again for question and answers. And yes, I do understand that sometimes when it's the first time, you might kind of think, oh my God, what is this new thing? I can only say that as an entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur in the making, the one thing that will be of immense help to you in your journey, it would be the ability to learn different skills and concepts on an ongoing time. So that is something which I will encourage all of you to kind of invest time in. Yes, Easter is a good time. It's a religious festival. So there are, of course, things which one might want to do around in that time. But if you are able to spare some time for investing in developing your skills in that space, that would really be, I think, something that might be of benefit to you. So just a very quick short moment. I'm just going to check if you have any questions. And if not, then we will switch to Spirit, and she's going to talk to us about what questions she might have. I'm going to add one more screen onto that. So moving into the chat, any quick questions? I can see that many of you may not be familiar with the Nomfundo. Your hand is up, so please go ahead.
Yes, Dr. D talked about Caterridge and having a lot of chemical companies. I just wanted to find out if, let's say, maybe I'm done with this program, will I be able to use my disqualification and try and find some job, since it's a big industry in Caterridge, because there's a lot of logistic companies.
Absolutely. And you're quite right. Nomfundo, that's a very good point. The idea of developing this whole program is to upskill you in such a way that either you become more employment ready or you are able to start your own business, any one of the two. And whichever way it is, you will stand to win. That's basically how we are structuring this whole thing. So yes, we also work with the chemical industries, CETA, and they are the sponsors. So the one good thing we can do, because this program is sponsored by the chemical industry, CETA, is bring you through their good offices in touch with other chemical industries in at least KZN. And there are a lot of them, as you know. So that is definitely one of the things that we can certainly do for you. Absolutely. Why not? So we listen to you and we respond. And while we have initially been working on that nice little wheel that used to declare one winner, and the feedback was that only one winner gets all the prizes. But then we went back and we had a small conversation within the team and we said, listen, what the survey is saying is that people are asking for airtime actually. So why give them Uber vouchers when what is going to help people to participate better is airtime? So we ran a quick survey. We, did our own little thing, and I was given the list of these people. So these are people, and I don't know who is on the call right now, but if you're on the call, please can you unmute and just come on board and just say if you got the airtime, the 5 people who you see on the list here, did you get the airtime, and did this help you in any way to become more participative in our program for now?
Yes, thank you so much for the airtime.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And stay with us and we will have more fun. Now, talking about fun, because holidays are around the corner, what we realized was that one more thing we need to do is, we can't meet all the time on the internet and Zoom classes. So one of the things which we are proposing is we will do an in-person class, because sometimes that also helps. And the feedback was some in-person classes will help in addition to the online classes. So we are proposing that on the 14th of April, and I'm giving you at least 2 weeks of notice. On the 14th of April, we will have an in-person class. And this will be an opportunity for us to improve our concepts, understand how we develop the concepts, start putting them into the growth wheel, 360 degrees founder canvas, and all of those things. So this is the opportunity. It will be at 2 o'clock at BizFarm. It will be a 2-hour session. And we will also engage if anybody needs some support in terms of transport or in terms of some maybe stipend for coming or attending to these classes and so forth. So we will engage with you and we'll work on with you on seeing if that's possible. So we've got some time in between to see how this can actually make a reality. It will be nice to see everybody together in person. If for any reason you have a challenge with that specific window, which is 14th at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., then we will find out if that's possible, if there's a challenge. But we will do our best to support you with a stipend to travel. Maybe not from out of KZN. If you're within KZN, certainly. If you're in another province, that might be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, we will at least support you as if you're in KZN. The rest, if you are able to pitch in, that would be great. But we would ideally like for everybody to be together. In any case, we will try our best also to have this class, which will be an in-person class, to be also still streamed online. So even if you're not in KZN, if you're in any other province, Eastern Cape or Gauteng or so forth, you will still in any case be able to participate online. So that's basically where I'm going to leave you on behalf of our BizFarm team. You've got our contact details, and I think in closing, all I can say is let's work together to grow your green hydrogen business. Have a blessed Easter break. Be safe, be good, and you will be great. Yeah, and I will pass on the message that Spade needs to bring her glasses the next time as well. She was actually trying to to join this session from elsewhere. But on that wonderful note, thanks everybody for being here, and look forward to continuing. So start planning your availability for the 14th of April. Next week's session will be on Tuesday. I think it's the 7th of April, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but next week, Tuesday, we will come back fresh after a very long, nice Easter break. Hopefully, you would have done some work on your presentations. I'm not going to give you a heads up, but I'm just going to say you never know. We are very fond of giving people surprises. So if you've got your business, if you've got your founder's canvas, and if you've got your concepts ready, there may be some prizes around the corner. I'm just giving you a nice little hint. So just get prepared, use your time well. And if there's a surprise, there's a surprise, and there may be a prize. So just get your assignments ready. You might be prepared and be prepared to be put on the spot, and you never know. So let's look at that, how it comes. Awesome, fantastic. Jabu, Standive, thank you for acknowledging that you've got the airtime. We will try and take this as a guideline from you and try and support you as we go along the way. So wonderful. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic afternoon ahead and see you next week.